Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be why I quit food journaling. If you are new here, you probably don't know about um, the issues I've had with my body image. I've talked about this in a few different videos. I will link those in the cards, as well as probably not seen my night routines in which I talk about food journaling. So today I'm going to take a few minutes, I don't want this video to be too long, to talk to you a little bit about why I quit food journaling and how it has helped me. So if you have not done so already, give this video a thumbs up and hit the red subscribe button down below if you are not subscribed already, and let's just get started. I am going to do a little bit of a background. I am going to warn you that if you struggle with body image, if you've struggled with eating disorders, or just struggled with food in general, this might be triggering, because you have to put the trigger warnings in now. But yeah. But basically, I have struggled with food since I was about 11 or 12. When I was in high school, I wasn't even in high school yet. It was like the summer before I started high school. And my freshman year of high school, the food, me not wanting to eat, and my relationship with food was horrible. I didn't want to eat. It didn't matter what it was. It could be my favorite thing, and I still just did not want to eat. Like, I was eating a little bit here or there, but I just wasn't eating. And if I wasn't eating enough to sustain myself. And then my freshman year of high school, when I wish they would, they included it in health class, and they were talking about losing weight and counting calories, and I'm sorry, but that should not be included in a freshman's health class. That should not be included in a health class at all. I think in order to graduate, you should have to take a nutrition class. So it teaches you how to eat instead of teaches you how to lose weight. Because I was not big or fat or whatever word you want to use by any means. I've always been skinny. It's just naturally who I am. Like, I was at a healthy weight until I was about 12, and that's when I started losing weight. And then I started kind of gaining weight like my sophomore, junior year of college or high school, because my friend used to make cupcakes and bring them in, and that was really the only thing I was eating. If my friend was bringing in cupcakes, that was the only way I was eating. So I started gaining weight then, but I still wasn't big. I wasn't gaining enough weight for me to say, I'm fat, I need to stop eating. But I still didn't want to eat at home. I would eat those cupcakes at school, but that was pretty much it. Or we had chicken nugget day, and that was the best lunch day they had, and everybody would eat it, and I would eat that, but that would be pretty much the only thing I would eat. It's just like I would pick certain times of the day that I would eat, or I would eat a certain amount of food without realizing I was doing it. And then my senior year of high school, I started counting calories. I wasn't doing it based off I'm eating this, so I can only have, so this has that many calories, or that has that many. I wasn't doing it the way you're typically supposed to count calories. I was counting calories in the way of, I knew how much you were supposed to have every day. I would cut that down to whatever number looked good to me that day, and that's what I would eat. So, if I decided one day that instead of the recommended 2,000 calories, I wanted to eat 500, that's what I would do. So I would skip breakfast. I would have a granola bar, like this big of a granola bar, and I would usually split it with my friend, and that's what I would eat. And I would drink water all day at school, and then I would have a Coke when I came home, and I remember that's what I was doing. And then when I went to college, I kind of let go of the calorie counting, but I was so stressed out that I just wasn't eating. Good morning, Nugget. But then as the older I got, like when I started my first, like we had to do an internship my junior year of college. You had to do an internship, I think. And I was working at a fire department, and I was not eating. And the guys were noticing that. And I had one guy that noticed that for somebody who didn't eat, I was highly food motivated. Because I am. I am highly food motivated. If I want something, you have, or if it looks really good. Like, I am... like, I'm not hungry until I see somebody else eat. I'm still that way. I'm weird with food. I think it's just one of those things that comes along with years of watching what you eat or not eating. But I was 22. I had just graduated college. And I was having, like, I've been chronically ill since I was 16. So I've had some health issues. Nugget joined. And I was 22, and I found this holistic nutritionist, and I thought, okay, maybe I just need to improve my relationship with food, and this will help me, and I'll be able to improve my relationship with food, and I'll actually want to eat, and maybe it'll help my illness at the same time. Well, what she recommended was logging my food every day, or food journaling, everything I ate and drank. I didn't have to count calories. I just had to write down what I was eating and drinking every day, and then compare that to how I was feeling. And what I didn't realize was that was starting me down on a downward spiral of, if I actually write down what I eat, I'm going to tell myself I can't eat this, or because I ate this yesterday, I can't have it again today, or I can't have it again this week, or I can't have it again this month. And at that time, really the only thing I wanted to eat, because the only thing that didn't make me sick, was macaroni and cheese and baked chicken. But I would have days where I wanted a cupcake and it sounded really good, and if I could stomach it, I would eat like 2 or 3 of them. Like, I remember one day there was one day in my food journal and it said 6 cupcakes. And yeah, I did. I ate 6 standard size cupcakes. But I looked at that and I was in the part of me in my head that goes, you're not supposed to eat, because trust me, that is still there. That is not gone, even 19 years later. But I was getting to the point of writing down food. When I was looking at what I had wrote down, I was feeling guilty about it. And I was going, nope, I can't eat this anymore. Like, if I would have a cupcake or 6, even though that was the only thing I was able to eat that day, I would look at it and I go, I can't eat that anymore. So even if that's the only thing I could eat one day, the day that I could eat a cupcake, I just wouldn't eat it. And I realized I was doing that with most food, and not just food that was junk food, but also food that was good for you. Like, if I had a salad 3 days in a row, I would look at that and go, even though it's good for you, I need to stop eating salad. So I was getting back to that point of where I just wouldn't eat at all. And then somewhere in the middle of that, my brain changed and I decided to keep logging my food, but I just wouldn't write down certain things. Like, if I knew it would be triggering later on, if I went back and looked at it, I just wouldn't write it down. Like, if I had a brownie, I wouldn't write it down. If I had a salad more than 2 days in a row, I wouldn't write it down. If I had mac and cheese almost every night, I wouldn't write it down, because I felt like lying to myself about what I was eating was actually better than telling the truth and actually looking at it and figuring out if it was actually triggering my illness. And I did this until May of this year. And in May, I was using a notebook, and the notebook I was using got filled up. And I was looking at the 2 notebooks, the 2 or 3 notebooks that I had filled with just food, and I was looking at it going, why am I doing this to myself? I haven't worked with that nutritionist since I was 23. I never noticed any correlation with food to my symptoms, and it wasn't helping me. So when I had that turning point, I was like, you know what? I just threw out all my food journals and I just stopped. And I don't really know if it's helped me, because I'm always going to have a weird relationship with food, but I do realize I'm eating more. When I don't have to write it down, if I'm not writing it down, so I'm not looking at it, I'm allowing myself to eat more food when I can't eat. Like, one of my worst symptoms, if not my worst symptom, is my nausea and my vomiting. So I've come to the point, if I can eat, no matter what it is that I can eat, I'm going to eat. Because I need to eat something to be able to survive. While it may not be the best thing, like if I can only stomach a milkshake that day, then that's fine. If I can eat vegetables all day, then that's fine. But without writing it down and without having a way to look back at it, I don't feel as guilty. I'm not gaining any weight because of my nausea and vomiting. I'm not I've actually lost weight since I quit food journaling because of my symptoms. But I am eating. And I know that I'm not losing weight because I'm depriving myself from food. I'm losing weight because of my illness. And I've talked to my doctor about this, and he's agreed with me that he would rather me lose weight from my illness than me losing weight from me looking at my food journal and just not eating one day because I looked at what I ate the day before and went, no, I can't eat today. And my doctor has helped me a lot in the last 2 years, try to explain to me that you need to eat no matter what it is, and especially now with me having issues with nausea and vomiting, my doctor wants me to eat more than anything if I can. He's got to this point, if you can eat, I don't care what it is, just eat it. Because I said, so if I can eat a cupcake that day and that's the only thing I can eat, I can have 4 or 5 of them. He said, I don't care if you have a whole dozen. If you can eat, then eat. And honestly, I think that's what's helped me the most, realizing that I have to eat because of my illness, even though because of my symptoms, sometimes I can't. The funny thing is, what's helped me the most with me not wanting to eat and me not wanting to journal my food is my chronic illness. With my illness getting worse, I realized that I need to focus more on my health, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and me food journaling was impacting my mental, my physical, and my emotional health because I was interpreting food in some way, whether it was a mental thing or an emotional thing or even a physical thing, as this horrible thing for me. Because if you have nausea and vomiting the way I do, you know that if you eat something and you throw it up, you don't want to eat that anymore. So my relationship with food has changed drastically because of my symptoms, but at the same time, I'm still eating, and that is the important part. If I can eat, I am eating. And that's really all my doctor wants me to do, and honestly, that's all I really need to do for right now. So, I quit food journaling mainly because I realized it wasn't helping me, and it wasn't making me healthier. It wasn't helping my relationship with food. It was making everything worse. And when I quit food journaling, I have found that my relationship with food has changed a little bit. Honestly, that could just be my age. I'm 30 years old. Eventually, I think you learn a little bit over time that food isn't necessarily horrible for you, no matter what it is, as long as it's balanced. So currently, when I can eat, because of my chronic illness, because of my nausea, that when I can eat, I try to go for healthier things, but I do treat myself. I do allow myself to have a cupcake or a milkshake, or if I want chocolate pudding, because right now that's the only thing I want to eat. That's what I'm going to allow myself to have. I've learned that depriving myself makes my relationship with food worse. So I try to keep it balanced with 80% good food and 20% bad, but I'm not going to tell myself that I can't have something if I really want it. And I think I'm actually healthier because of it. So, I hope this video answered your questions, helped you out a little bit. If it did and you have not done so already, give this video a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.